What's up, guys? Trainer Mike here, Bodybuilding.com corporate headquarters today for your Flex Friday workout. Coming at you on a Thursday. What a treat! We get to do Flex Friday a day early this week, which I know personally, I'm pretty dang excited about. And the cool thing about this workout today, guys, we're doing legs. So you guys are always asking for leg workouts. I swear we do a leg workout and the next week it's like, when's legs, when's legs, when's legs? And I appreciate that. All right, guys, I give you kudos for always wanting to get after that next leg workout. So today, I'm bringing you a pretty cool leg workout. Now, those of you that have been following along know that I've kind of been doing an undulating upper body push, upper body pull, and legs routine where we do a light and a heavy day each week. But today actually works out pretty well. I just had a photo shoot on Monday, so I've been backing off a little bit this week, but not for today. So we're going to give you a good combination of both heavy and lighter movements in today's workout. This is a really good leg workout if you guys maybe only hit legs once a week and you just want to get them really, really good. Give this leg workout a try. So we're going to start off a little heavier. We've got squats here for 5x5, a great way to start off a leg day. The 5x5 is a really good set rep scheme if you're just looking to really build a strong foundation, strong base, and kick off your leg workout with a boom, which we like to do. So squats 5x5, again, backing off a little bit, worked really hard for a photo shoot that I had on Monday. So I'm not getting too crazy heavy today, but we're gonna focus on really, really good quality reps, 5x5, starting off with 315. I've got my knee sleeves on. Just picked these up on Bodybuilding.com actually as part of the Black Friday special. I got my Converse on. It's a must-have for a leg day. I got my short shorts on. Got to have short shorts on a leg day. We're going to belt up. Anything 5 reps or less we belt up for. And of course, we got the headband of gains. So pre-workout's in. Let's roll. 5 sets of 5 reps. Let's go. Set 1, baby. Lightweight. Pump, let's go. All right, there it is. Set 1 is down. Felt pretty good. I like to, ease up my weight a little bit on the 5x5.
Do you have any tips for avoiding knee pain?
Tips for avoiding knee pain: get a good warm up in. Very, very important that you get warmed up. I prefer, 5 minutes of low intensity cardio, maybe recumbent bike, stationary bike, pre-workout along with some active dynamic stretching.
Do I need to squat with a belt?
Do you need to squat with a belt? No, you don't have to squat with a belt. The benefits to squatting with a belt, if you get, 5 reps or less, it's going to help you create that intra-abdominal pressure, help protect your lower back.
And then what are the advantages of having a flat sole shoe versus an elevated shoe?
So benefits of a flat sole shoe, the guys never squat in tennis shoes, okay? So what you don't want is like a really soft surface to squat in. It doesn't provide you with the proprioceptive feedback that you need to effectively squat. So your choices are either like a skateboard shoe, a Converse, or you could get a powerlifting shoe with an elevated heel, which can be kind of nice because it allows you to get a little better range of motion without having to have as much flexibility in your calves. Little longer rest. We usually aim for about 2 minutes for heavier squats. So I threw a 10 on each side, and we're gonna go another set of 5. Let's roll. Belt goes loose in between sets. We tighten it up right before each set. Let's go. 5 reps. Come on, baby. Whoo! Boom! There we go. 2 sets down. Trying to focus on good depth here. Good range of motion, critical for squats. More important than weight.
How do you warm up for these sets? Do you just do working sets, or what do you do?
No, to warm up for squats, guys, you should really be doing some foam rolling. I like to foam roll calves, IT bands, hip flexors, and then I do a lot of active dynamic stretching too. Things like inchworms, world's greatest stretch, active leg raise. Really get the hamstrings, the quads, the hip flexors, and even the glutes all activated before squatting.
What flavor pre-workout did you do?
Flavor pre-workout was hand-spun cotton candy today, Dymatize Prewo. You guys check out my story on Instagram at TrainerMike1. I'm always sharing with you what flavor of Prewo I'm drinking for the day. So we're also keeping track of heart rate. I'm trying to pull it up here during my leg day. Currently sitting at only 80 beats per minute. Cardio is really good right now, so heart rate recovery, super fast.
What's the difference between belts? It seems like some belts are narrow, some belts are thick.
Yeah, so belts, there's all kinds of different belts. Some are narrow, some are thick. You know, more of your powerlifting belt. A lot of people like to use the lever belts that are really thick. The downside to that is they're pretty uncomfortable to wear if you don't really need it. And I'm not a power lifter. I don't claim to be. I'm not doing crazy amounts of weight. So I choose just a good leather belt. I do like the 2 prong here. I find that's beneficial. But I like this belt. It's leather and it's comfortable to wear.
People are loving the knee sleeves.
All right, you guys loving the knee sleeves. So these are Rock Tape. Old Glory is the style on Bodybuilding.com. Guys, check them out. 7mm, just got them. All right, 3rd set. Let's go, 5 reps. Squats, baby, build the wheels. Pump. Rack it up and rest 2 minutes. All right, knee sleeves, link is going in chat. Yeah, these are nice, guys. The benefits of knee sleeves is it helps keep the joint warm, helps improve circulation, blood flow to prevent injury there. So, you know, 7mm provides you a little more support than 5mm would. How do you fix a posterior pelvic tilt? Posterior pelvic tilts are really, really uncommon. Most people have an anterior pelvic tilt. Posterior pelvic tilt you usually only see with like cyclists or people that spend a lot of time on a bike. Anterior pelvic tilt, much more common, and you fix that by stretching hip flexors and activating glutes more. How do you know the right amount of time to rest? You know, you have to feel good going into your next set. If you're doing something more heavy and compound like squats, you want to rest longer, usually 1.5 to 2 minutes. Because your risk of injury is higher. And so when you have a higher risk of injury on a movement, you want to make sure you're well rested. Whereas if you're doing like bicep curls, your risk of injury is really low. You can get away with shorter rests, like 30 seconds.
What is better, BCAAs or glutamine?
What's better, BCAAs or glutamine? They're different, right? They're both great. So I couldn't tell you one is better than the other. I would include both. They're in a category that are kind of a little separate there. All right, set 4 coming up. 5 reps, squats, baby. Let's go. Tighten up the belt. Let's get some work done. Pump. Oh, it's getting tough. You know, it's not a lot of weight, but we're really trying to get good depth out of it. It can be hard to work into those first sets of squats.
What are your thoughts on using bands while squatting?
Using bands while squatting, in other words, progressive resistance, can be really beneficial. And if your goal is to improve your squat strength, I would incorporate them occasionally.
Should I be stretching in between sets?
Should you stretch in between sets? I don't think so. You know, static stretching will actually decrease your ability to produce more force or strength. So no static stretching in between sets if you're trying to lift heavy.
Then can you talk about feet position when squatting?
Feet position when squatting. Yeah, there's a number of different ways that you can position your feet when squatting. I choose a pretty narrow stance with my toes straight forward. I want to activate more of my quads. You can go a little wider and activate a little more glutes and hamstrings, but it kind of depends on where you want to focus. More narrow, more quads, wider, a little more glutes and hamstrings. Whew. Make sure you guys are drinking lots of water on leg day. I've got my all 9 aminos in here. Orange cranberry is the flavor. All right. So one more set, 5 by 5. Really great way to start out a routine. If you guys are curious, man, I want to build some size and some strength. Where do I start? Whether it's bench press, overhead press, pull-ups, squats, deadlifts, pick a compound movement and go 5 sets of 5 is a great way. You can't go wrong, beginner, intermediate, or advanced, on doing something like this. Final set of 5. We're going to tighten up the belt and get it done. Come on, baby. Let's go. There it is, guys. That's the last time that I use the belt today. I really only use the belt on heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, so that's the last time we'll use it for today. Next up, we've got Bulgarian split squats. So now we bring our rep scheme up, we bring our sets down, and we're gonna go 3 sets of 12 here. So the split squats are really good to hit more of the glutes and really find a good way to slow down your movement. So you can do these with either dumbbells or a barbell on your shoulder. Doesn't really matter. Our focus here, now that we got our heavier, more compound movement out of the way, is to slow it down and really feel those glutes contract. So 12 reps. Pick a weight that you feel like you can control, and let's get it done. No rest at the top of these. Right onto the other leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. Woo, that's a burner. That is a burner. Hot dog. Are pre-workouts important? Depends. You know, they're not a necessity. So if you want to build muscle, build strength, you don't need a pre-workout. They're just really nice to pick you up when you might be feeling a little dragged. So key here, mistake a lot of people make, is they take rest at the top of each movement. And what you're doing there is you're allowing a little bit of muscle recovery when we don't want that. The goal here is to keep the tension on the muscle through all 12 reps.
What do you eat pre-workout or post-workout?
So pre-workout, what do I eat? Guys, check out my story on Instagram at TrainerMike1. I put up my pre-workout breakfast there. Cream of rice, chicken and veggies today. Normally it's some form of rice with chicken and a little bit of veggies. Ideally 60 to 90 minutes pre-workout. Post-workout is always scoop and a half of ISO 100 with glutamine and creatine. Sometimes I have carbs with it, sometimes I don't. Okay, second set. 12 reps, let's go. Wow, this one's a burner, especially after squats. You guys are gonna really feel everything here. Quads, glutes, even a little bit of hamstrings fired up.
When is the next podcast?
Next podcast episode Sunday. We're back on our regular Sunday. Had to travel this weekend. It was a little too crazy to get in a high quality podcast with you. So we'll do it Sunday night. Look for it first thing Monday morning. And where can you find it? Anywhere. Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, links in the chat, the Fit Couples Perspective. Whew. And we got a fun topic this week too. We're going to talk about, what to do if your significant other is not a fitness freak like you are. How do you make that work?
How many different exercises should be done for a good leg day?
How many different exercises should be done for a good leg day? Kind of depends on how often you hit legs. I would say 4 to 5. Okay, if you're just doing a well-rounded leg day, you've got to hit quads, hamstrings, focus on glutes, focus on calves, at least once for each of those. Okay, here we go. Last set, 12 reps. Ah. Whew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there we go. Getting a little wobbly. We wouldn't want it any other way for leg day. So again, with the reps a little higher, single leg movement, we're working through only 3 sets as opposed to 4 or 5. So you have to take your overall volume into consideration. 5 sets of 5 gives you 25 total reps. Okay, 3 sets of 12 gives you 36 total reps.
What are your thoughts on the split squat versus a walking lunge?
Split squat or walking lunge, I would do one or the other, and I think they're both awesome. If we were to have done walking lunges today, we wouldn't do split squats. You kind of pick one of those and make it your priority for the day. So next up, we got dumbbell RDL for 3 sets of 12. Really like this movement. Really good way to focus on those hamstrings. Good hip hinge movement. So again, we're not gonna get crazy on the weight. We're going to pick a weight. We feel a really good stretch each and every rep on the hamstrings and drive the hips forward for a solid hip hinge. So we'll go 80 pounds here for 3 sets of 12. Very controlled. Here we go. Whew, it doesn't take much weight when you control your tempo like that.
What is your IG handle?
My IG handle, @TrainerMike1. That's the number 1. Guys, follow along there. That's where I do pretty much all my social activity. I post a lot. Try and put up a lot of good content for you guys. So check it out, @TrainerMike1. You guys have questions, you want to DM me, make fun of me, put stupid comments up. That's where it all happens.
How did the photo shoot go?
Photo shoot was really good. Yeah, I went to Denver Monday, did a photo shoot for Dymatize. Really, really good. Dialed in pretty well for it. Body fat was at 6.3% going into the photo shoot, which is a good place for a photo shoot. You know, you don't need to be 3-4% for a photo shoot like you do a show. It was good. It went really well.
What are your thoughts on early morning fasted workouts?
Early morning fasted workouts you have to be careful with. I like early morning fasted low intensity cardio, but if you're getting into high intensity, I wouldn't recommend it. All right, set 2, 12 reps. Let's get those hamstrings working. Really try and keep your shoulder blades together here. Keep your chin tucked down and come just below your kneecaps. Okay? You know, I could go lower, but I'm gonna start rounding my back. It's all about the hinge at the hips. Go until you feel a really good stretch on the way down, and then go ahead and hinge the hips back up.
Are there any benefits to doing back and front squats in the same workout?
Are there any benefits to doing back and front squats in the same workout? Like today, we're gonna do we did back squats, and we're gonna do a goblet squat. I think that makes sense. I would not do a heavy back squat and front squat in the same workout. They're too similar. It would be too much strain on the lower back. But we can do a heavy back squat, and then this goblet squat that we'll do next, where we really focus on tempo, I think makes a lot of sense. Are Smith machine squats effective? I don't squat in the Smith machine. I never would. It's biomechanically impossible to do a correct squat in the Smith machine. It does not replace a squat. If you want to have some fun and do like a really wide stance squat or close stance squat in a Smith machine with a lighter weight, I've got no beef with that, but don't replace your free weight squats with it. All right, third set, 12 reps. Let's get this thing going. Hamstrings feel really good. You guys should really feel this in the back of your legs when you're doing it properly. Here we go. Whoop. Woo! All right, guys, we'll drop one of those for our goblet squats, rack the other one up, and now it's time to come back and hit the quads with a goblet squat. So a lot of variations of exercises today. The nice thing about only going 3 reps per exercise, or 3 sets, excuse me, is that we're able to do more exercises, which can be kind of fun if you're looking for that well-rounded leg day. We're really able to hit quads and hamstrings and glutes through a variety of different movements. I'm gonna grab some 10-pound plates here to use to elevate my heels so we can get a little more quad activation out of this movement. So again, the question came before, is it okay to do front squats and back squats in the same workout? This would be a more appropriate way to do a back squat and a front squat in the same workout by picking a lighter weight for goblet squats. 3 sets of 12. I'm gonna elevate my heels a little bit here. Keep my feet super close together. Really try and target those quads. So with all of these, we're really paying attention to not resting at the top. You guys get to the top, right back down to your next controlled rep.
How many meals do you try to get in before you train?
I try to get in 2 meals before I train. Ideally, I like 2 meals and almost a gallon of water. A little too hard for me to do with these 10 a.m. workouts. Normally, I train about 12:30. So ideally, I like a couple meals. That's how I seem to feel the best.
Do you ever incorporate sumo deadlifts?
I don't do sumo deadlifts. I don't like the way they feel for me personally. I know some people that really like them, but I don't. A lot of water. Again, I can't stress enough the importance of hydration. You use a lot more water when you're working larger muscle groups like legs.
What's one mistake you made with training when you were younger that you don't anymore?
One mistake I made when training while younger was I put too much emphasis on volume per day, okay? So I just smash legs for like 2 hours once a week, be so sore for 4 or 5 days I could hardly move. Then next week, smash them again. I wish that I would have broken each muscle group into 2 to 3 times per week, less volume per day, and had more focus on my weekly volume. All right, set 2, 12 reps. Up. Whew. The burn is real on this workout. I hope you guys try this. If you got some serious cojones, you go do this on a weekend. And that is hard to do. When everybody else is working t-shirt muscles, I want you guys to go hit legs this weekend.
What are you drinking?
Orange cranberry or cranberry orange. I don't know which way it goes. Dymatize all 9 aminos. 1 scoop. It's good flavor. I feel like it's seasonal too, you know? Cranberry orange. It's kind of this time of year.
Do you ever superset your leg exercises?
Occasionally I'll superset my leg exercises, but that's getting ballsy. I mean, you know, if I were to do it, it's more like leg extensions and leg curls, you know. I'm never gonna superset like squats or deadlifts or anything like that. That's just not smart.
And then what do the plates do again?
So the plates allow me to elevate my heels. I'll keep my body more upright here, and I'll be able to focus more on getting good depth and utilizing my quads. So it's the same, serves the same purpose as somebody who's maybe wearing Olympic lifting like squat shoes or Olympic lifting platform type shoes. Where the heel's elevated, it allows me to get deeper with better upright through my upper body because I don't have to worry about ankle mobility. Okay, final set, 12 reps. Let's get wobbly. Woo! Rack it up. That does it for the goblet squats. Now I know I've been mentioning it all workout long. I cannot stress enough the importance of making sure you're not resting at the top of that movement. It's so key that you keep constant tension on the quads during that movement, or stiff-legged deadlifts, constant tension on the hamstrings. We're going on next to leg extensions, followed by leg curls. We're gonna go 3 sets of 15 reps here. Now this is not the exercise to start getting rowdy with your weight on. We wanna keep a very, very modest weight on here that we can make sure we're getting peak contraction with each and every rep. Get your seat adjusted just right, very important on these. I'll just give you an idea. I'm gonna pick 100 pounds on a 250-pound stack. You know, if you guys wanna show off how strong you are, do it on squats, do it on deadlifts, not on leg extension. 15 reps, let's go. Starts off feeling really light, but man, that gets hard in a hurry. We no longer need knee sleeves for these, so I'm gonna start taking them off in between sets. There's really no harm to keeping them on, but I'd rather take them off. Best piece of advice to give beginners that are new to the gym, just be consistent, okay? You know, I don't care if you get the perfect workout in when you come in and work out. I just want you to pick a plan and stick to that plan. I don't care if some days your workouts suck, some days you only get halfway through, just be consistent with your training and your nutrition. You know, you can't be really good 4 or 5 days a week, dick around 2 days a week and succeed in this. It doesn't work like that. Is it true that leg extension and leg press are bad for your knees? Depends on how you do them. If you're lifting like a jack wagon, yes. But that's true with any exercise. So here, like I said, guys, I could put all 250 pounds on this stack and bust out some stupid repetitions. But instead, I'm picking 100 pounds, literally about a third of this stack, and I'm focused on controlling my tempo. And if you do that, you're not gonna have as much issues with the joints. Okay, here we go. Second set, 15 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, Ooh! Nothing quite like that leg extension burn. Wow, it doesn't take much weight at all. If you guys want to show off an ego lift, be my guest, but do it on big lifts. Don't do it on stuff like leg extensions. Any tips for finding a good personal trainer? You want to find somebody who really listens to you, okay? You know, fact of the matter is, your success is determined in your ability to stay accountable to some basic things like logging your food and training. So you need to find a personal trainer that's willing to ask you a lot of questions and then listen to your response, because there are no cookie cutter programs out there. If you're looking for a personal trainer, you want it to be personal. You know, I haven't talked to Chris Gethin about doing a live workout, but I will text him after this and I will see if we can get him in here. I know he's just now getting back into training again after his surgery he had, so we'll get it, we'll make it happen. We'll definitely make it happen. All right, final set, 15 reps. Let's go. Man, I don't know how close that camera gets up there, but those quads are on fire. I mean, you can feel, I can just see each and every fiber shaking in there. The veins start coming out, the striations start coming out in the quads. That is really, really good stuff. Now we're moving on to leg curls. We're gonna do this seated leg curl machine here. Now it's gonna be maybe a little hard for you guys to see, so we'll see what we can do here. But we're gonna go for 3 sets of 15 for the seated leg curl. Same thing's true here. You really have to pick a weight that you can control, that makes sense for you, and that you feel like you're gonna get the best contraction with. So we're gonna go same thing, very, very lightweight in comparison to what the stack would allow us to put on. Always flex your toes back and push yourself into the seat to get the best contraction. There it is, 15. It's real tempting as it gets harder to point your toes. I want you guys to make sure you keep those toes flexed back the whole time.
How much cardio do you recommend for somebody looking to build muscle?
How much cardio for somebody looking to build muscle?
And maintain your body.
Kind of depends on the person, okay? But I think that you can get away with probably 3 high-intensity interval training sessions per week. Let's call it 20 minutes a pop. Doing something like sprints, row machine, battle ropes, high intensity, short, 30-second intervals, 90-second rest in between.
Is it better to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week and then rest, or just go every day?
Is it better to go 3 to 4 times per week to the gym and then rest, or go every day? I'd go right in the middle. If you can, I'd train 5 to 6 days a week with 1 to 2 days of rest. Keep in mind, you gotta sleep right each night, you gotta eat right. If you're eating right, sleeping right, supplementing right, it's really hard to overtrain. Here we go. 15 reps, up the weight just a little bit. Really feeling all areas of our legs on this workout, which is what it's intended to do. This isn't a quad workout. This isn't a hamstring workout. This is a full leg day workout. Is it necessary to count reps? Not really. Honestly, I think a lot of people limit themselves on what they can do because they're counting reps. For example, if you say, oh, I'm going to get to, 12 reps, and then you just stop at 12, when realistically you could have got 15. You're not doing yourself any favors. Do I have any plans to compete? Guys, I will, mark my words, I will get my IFBB Pro card in 2019. Classic physique. Write it down, hold me accountable to it. It will happen. Okay, third set. See, now I'm motivated. Now I'm fired up again. You guys reminded me why we're doing this. Let's go, baby. Woo, buddy. Those are burning. Burning, burning, burning. Okay, now all that's left, we save calves for the end. We're gonna move right over here. There are so many different variations that we could do calves on as far as machines. Some directly target the calves, some are intended for other purposes. A selectorized leg press works really, really well just because of the way the platform is positioned for calves. So with that said, that's up next. We're gonna go here, some good quality repetitions for calves. Really, the focus for calves needs to be on that stretch and that contraction with each and every rep. So really controlled here. All right. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. I mean, I would encourage you to see just how light can you go on calves and still get a great contraction. You know, I would challenge you to do that before you think about increasing your weight.
What are some alternatives to leg extensions and curls if they don't have a machine?
You know, alternatives to leg extensions and curls, they're really not that important. You could always do like a glute ham raise instead of a hamstring curl. You could always just replace more of your goblet squats instead of doing, you know, a leg extension. I really do like leg extensions. It's a pretty unique exercise compared to, you can't really do a whole lot else with free weights that hits it, isolates it just like that, but it's not 100% necessary.
What protein would you recommend?
I recommend Dymatize ISO 100 for anybody, okay? Most people get away with about 2 scoops a day of that to help meet their protein needs. Okay, set 2. Here we go, 2 sets down. We're gonna do 2 more on the calf extension before we wrap this thing up.
What's the difference between a leg press and a squat?
Difference between a leg press and a squat, tons of difference there. I mean, a squat, you have to actually stabilize your upper body and your core to make sure that you stay upright. So there's so many different muscle groups involved in a squat. Whereas leg press, really, you don't have to worry about a whole lot else other than lifting that platform. And so squat is superior, but leg press is a great exercise too. Don't replace your squat with a leg press and think you're doing the same thing, because you're not.
You're saying people shouldn't be bouncing when they're training their calves.
Do not bounce when training your calves, no. Guys, really, really focus. Big, big stretch all the way as far as you can go. Flex the front of your shins, your anterior tibialis, and then full extension. All the way back, full extension. Your calves get plenty of bouncing movements with walking and running. This is the time to really control it. Nine. Woo! Yes, one more set here, and then we're going to wrap up this Flex Friday on a Thursday. Wow. I got to figure out what to do for Flex Friday now, for actual Flex Friday. It won't be here, but I'm glad we got this one in. Have I found a replacement for hiking? No, I can't, and I'm going into a slight depression because of it. Yeah, I'm a hiker, guys. Every Saturday when the weather's nice, we're out hiking for a few hours, and it's cold, it's wet, there's no hiking happening right now, and it's slightly depressing.
What's a good amount of protein I should get?
Good amount of protein. I would recommend that pretty much anybody that's an avid exerciser aim for 1 gram per pound of lean body mass minimum, up to 1.5 grams per pound of lean body mass. Final set. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. There it is, guys. Wrapping it up for Flex Friday. Please check me out on Instagram at TrainerMike1. Guys, check out that podcast, The Fit Couples Perspective. Facebook page at Trainer Mike Physique, and on Body Space at Mr. Symmetry. Appreciate you guys checking in for that Flex Friday on a Thursday, training legs. We're going to go get in that Flex Friday picture and check out. Boom!